The lights go out and we're underway for race number 2. Shields with a good getaway. Needed that. Then Perez and Lucas Blakely, the top 3 maintaining position. And off the road there in the background, one of the racing points as the McLaren goes to the inside of the Haas, but he's going to try and go all the way around the outside, Blakely. And Lucas Blakely will get himself the inside line now. Oh, they're all drifting as they try to get the power down. And it's side by side between Blakely and Perez as they go down towards Brooklands for the first time. And I think it's Blakely who's going to get the move completed, and he does. So nicely done from Lucas Blakely to make up positions. I think he might have been slightly frustrated with his qualifying yesterday. So Perez, then Job and Pookie, then Lutt and Du Kapua in 7th position as we go over the line with Shields, feeling the need to break the toe there. All sorts of action going on at the background, but we go on board with Sebastian Job currently in 4th position as he goes to Maggots and Beckett's. And they're just feeding their way into the race at this stage. We saw this in race number 1. Nothing hugely dramatic unless you go further back then. We're on lap number 2 at this stage. Side by side would be a great move from Laurito. Can Laurito do it? He can, you know. That is a super performance. He's not the only one right now going wheel to wheel. Pookie has already lost 1 position. Lutt's trying to make it work. So Laurito goes, there's no grip down there at all. And Kendon Lutt manages to get ahead and up to 6th position. So Istvan Pookie, the Hungarian driver, struggling at the moment. Could be about to get worse as Du Kapua tries to come back in. And you can see how much he's struggling to get the power down. Really struggling at this stage. And Alessio putting all the pressure on him in 8th position. And Pookie just has to stabilize right now, just has to catch his breath and try again. So we're on board, we were on board for a second. Okay, we go back to the battle for 7th position. Oh, they're so close to contact. Careful, guys. You do not want to tumble yourself to the back of the order. So much pressure on all of these drivers to deliver with what is on offer. And what is on offer is a life-changing experience, potentially. But Kapua does what he needs to, and he claims 7th position. Brown got through as well, and Pookie, after running in 6th position earlier on, tumbles to the back. Brown fights through on the inside. And he gets to the inside of the corner on lap number 6. He's in 8th position right now, and he will go chasing the Ferrari in a few moments' time. So just a chance for him to, they're really struggling. You can see spits of rain beginning to fall right now as they go under the Red Bridge, and the intensity, it is almost surreal in this studio. No noise at all, but plenty of intense battles on track as the drivers try to forge their way to the front. Talking at the front, here we are. Daniel Shields ahead of Lucas Blakely and then Perez. Job is in 4th position, and is that a problem in the background there for Du Kapua? I think it is. He's tumbled all the way to 12th position, and that's a horrible luck for him as he finds himself down 4 places. As you can see from the graphic, that is hugely frustrating. Now back to the lead. Lucas Blakely trying to take it to the Australian driver. Daniel Shields ahead. They'll go side by side into Stowe Corner. Oh, this is so difficult. We see so many moves around the outside, but these moves in the spitting rain is so tough right now for them. On stick tyres, damp conditions developing, and that is a super move from Lucas Blakely to get into the lead in his Haas. And the passion from these drivers evidently on show. Daniel Shields will take a breath, try to come back. Just got to stay cool right now. Conditions could change as we go further into the 26 laps of the race. Just take a moment. So Matic right now, you can see on the hard tyres, and it is probably beginning to get into intermediate territory. Is that the gamble you take? You want to stay out there for as long as possible. That is why no one's troubled their crew at the moment to come in for a pit stop. And Matic at the moment chasing down Leroy Brown. Brown, who's been involved in quite a lot of the action so far at the moment, thinks about the move, and into the pits. Here we go, here comes the action. And they are putting on the intermediates. So Blakely and Perez putting on the intermediates. Shields deciding to go for another lap. And if the conditions, well, if he's read this the wrong way, this could really undo his race. Conversely, could make it, could reclaim the lead that he lost. Here's the driver that he lost the lead to, Lucas Blakely, coming back out of the pits. And that is Daniel Shields, lap 12 of 26. He's surely going to come in this time. He does come in this time. Past the daisies. I need to get the mower out of Silverstone. Okay, this is absolutely crucial for the race lead. Such a long time. So frustrating. the drivers tell you in real life that they use this moment for a bit of a breather. But I don't think Daniel Shields wants a breather. He wants to get on with it as quickly as possible. So which was the right way to go? Was it the slick tires? Was it the intermediates? We're about to get our answer. This is going to be so important. 22 seconds was the gap for Daniel Shields. Blakely is coming all the time, and he'll send it to turn number 1. Wait for it. We're about to get our answer of who comes out in the lead. And Blakely retakes the lead of this second race. And he did manage to make the right call on those intermediates, and you can see Shields comes out 4 seconds behind. And Blakely just focusing on doing the job. We're only at the halfway stage, nothing guaranteed at the moment. We're on board with Daniel Shields as he gets used to that intermediate rubber. So Matic now in 8th position, putting the pressure on Leroy Brown. He can't make a half move, and he knows it. Wise decision from Matic to tuck back in. Try to go the long way round and then get the power on. Oh, and he's lost it. He's lost it round. He goes into the old pit lane entry, and that is so easy to do in these conditions, but that will be heartbreak for him. Not going to be challenging Leroy Brown anymore, and that is a real moment of disappointment as he gets back up to speed in the Alfa Romeo liveried car. That is really disappointing. But you've got to push, you've got to take your opportunity today. He knows it, and just got away from him. Disappointing, but he will try and fight back in the remaining laps that we have. And if it could happen to him, it could happen to any of them. These are precarious conditions for the drivers in the field to make their way through. You can see it's developing from intermediate territory to full wet territory, but it would have to be an awful lot more water on the racetrack for the drivers to consider a stop, given how much time that you lose. Right now, Perez, remember, ran as high as 2nd earlier on today. Just thinking of those 2 stops you can see from the graphic on the left-hand side. Just trying to finish the race now in 6th position. And it's so difficult to get right. It's a tough racetrack in the dry. It's a near impossible racetrack when you've got so much on the line, when you've got so much to aim for. Some of these drivers were here last year. Some of them are rookies. They all know the significance of what they're competing for, though. You can see Perez just not comfortable in these wet conditions. Go on board with the Ferrari to give you a really good idea. This is the Vale, this is the left-hand, and you can see just the rear end constantly trying to step out. And the drivers living on their instincts right now. It's about practicing in these conditions all the time, and you cannot doubt the commitment. Remember, 100,000 people tried to qualify for this event. You are looking at the best of the best. That's a late pit stop for Sebastian Job, who comes out in 8th position. So he ran for a really long time without changing those tires. What's he gone for there? He's onto the intermediate on lap 26. So in a few moments' time, we will pick up Lucas Blakely, who has a comfortable buffer as Job goes chasing down the Ferrari ahead. He's making progress at this stage, but he is running out of corners at the moment. Job thinking about it, but there's no room there to use the momentum that he's got in the Mercedes. And so Blakely has done the job as this battle continues. Are we going to see a change of position? We are at the moment. Oh, look at the drift, though. Here we go. Talking of drifting, what a way to win in style. Lucas Blakely across the line in the Haas, and he's beaten Daniel Shields to win. And look at what it means to him. Another driver elated and relieved. It's Haas on the top step of the podium with Lucas Blakely.